Hello everyone. This time we are taking a look at the Alaska class Guam. In Archer Lane, Guam is ultra-rare tier large cruiser, part of Eagle Union Navy. Before we take a look at their stats in-game, I want to talk about the history of Alaska class in just a few seconds. After the World War I and Treaty Versailles, the navies across the globe witnessed the birth of the Deutschland-class ships, Deutschland, Admiral Scheer and Admiral Craspe. Cruisers with big guns was tested before, but having 28 cm guns was large. France responded with Dunker-class and Germans then built the Scharnhorst. You can actually see the arms race here. Then the US Navy decided to build their own cruiser with big guns in mid-1930s. And at this point they guessed that their next opponents might be the Japanese Navy. It took a long time to find perfect design, and also the idea of making them not just cruiser hunters, but also carrier escort. During the early days of the Second War, Deutschland-class ships, Deutschland, later Lützow, Admiral Scheer and Craspe were hunting merchant ships. And Japan engineers also were designing their own large cruiser in secret ? So the US Navy started to build their own large cruisers to hunt other cruisers with their 12-inch guns. And the US Navy Admiral stepped in, and finally things started to speed up in 1940s. In the end, they were finally developed, started to build and designated as CB, Large Cruiser. Total of 6 ships: Alaska, Guam, Hawaii, Philippines, Puerto Rico, and Samoa. Unfortunately, their fate to join the war was not their side. Alaska's keel was laid down in 1941, followed by Guam in 1942. The changes, steel shortages, other works and other things affected their arrival. 4 remaining ships were suspended because of these issues, and resources were needed for the Essex class too. Hawaii work started again late in 1943, and more unfortunate fates about last 3 ships, Philippines, Puerto Rico, and Samoa, were cancelled. Only Alaska and Guam get into sea trials in 1944, and very short war career, only being able to make short bombardment and then escorting heavily damaged USS Franklin home. Hawaii joined with the 2 in 1947, only 89% complete. And because they were large cruisers with no clearance what to do with them, although in reserve and there were suggestions what to do with them, they spent their final days in the scrapyard, sold for scrap, the last one being Guam in 1961. Well, I do want to apologize a lack of more details about the Alaska class, so I heavily suggest you need to do some research on your own. There are channels across the YouTube where you can actually see more details about Alaska and their backstory, and why I also started to call them as cruiser hunters, because the other cruisers from other navies were hunting merchant ships, and America really needed cruiser to actually hunt other cruisers, and because their opponent was Japan, they needed a ship to face the Japan's own battle cruiser program. Because according to sources, whatever spies they had, actually mentioned that the battle cruisers the Japanese were designing were soft, and so the Alaska class were designed. But this is the information I learned. I highly suggest you make researches of your own. Of course, there are some other things I want to talk about Alaska class because I did my personal research, how they look, how they've been designed, and I wanted to then compare them the other ships, like in World of Warships, Alaska comparing to Admiral Class Spey, and then comparing Alaska to the Azuma. Was it Azuma? And then the Yoshino premium ships in Japanese Navy, and then this really weird but actually nice looking ship is B-class Chill from German, and then there is the other ship, the O-class battle cruisers from German, the Siegfried and Aegir. Aegir, how do you pronounce the A? So, there are plenty of things I want to say, but let's get back to the game, because that's why you are here and I am here for. And of course, I actually forgot to add the Alaska here in the picture. Guam, excuse me. Talking so much about Alaska, I actually accidentally called Guam Alaska. But now, Guam. Guam is the second ship of the Alaska class. And she has memory in-game. I read the memory and she's actually... it was actually really fun to read. I'm going to add it in the future in a YouTube channel called Secretary Stories in Azure. But that's all the other day. Now, Guam. As you can see in the fleet, I am grinding other ships in the future. Kronstadt is here from the last time I made a video about her. But now the next is Guam. As you can see, I haven't ordered her yet. So that might affect to her total stats. Because when you old ship girl, she gets 3% buff to her stats, and that's kind of also important if you want to actually do that. But how does she fare these days? Let's find out. According to Wiki, it has been recorded that in level 125, her HP is 7,838, her firepower is 301, AA is impressive 458, her reload is 172, her evasion is 55, her armor is medium, speed is 626 some reason, her accuracy is 141, her luck is 51, and her oil cost is 15. Second is her gears. Her second slot is her main gun. She gets 2 of them. And its efficiency is 115%. Her second slot is a secondary gun. It gets only destroyer caliber guns. She has only 1 of them. And her AA stays highly 150%. And she gets 2 of them, which is impressive. When you limit break her, well, it just says that her main gun efficiency 5% and the air gun base 1, main gun base 1, secondary gun efficiency 10%, And third slot is make an FSC 15%. And C is only obtainable in Light Chasing Sea of Stars event. Build-in time 4 hours, 11 minutes, and 40 seconds. So, in paper, seems promising enough for a second sister of the Alaska. Now, her skills. Starting with support, Battlestar Fireworks. Increase this ship AA and accuracy by 15%. After every 2 attacks with this ship's secondary guns, increases this ship AA by 5%. Can stack up to 5 times. When this buff achieves its max stacks, all your ships with a lower AA stat than Guam gain 15% increased AA until the battle ends. Second is her guest incoming. Decreases this ship aircraft damage taken by 20%. When this ship attacks with large caliber main guns, it seems she must have them. 1. Deploys a barrier. Lasts 5 seconds, able to negate up to 1% of this ship max HP in damage. The second performs level 10 special attack. Damage is based on the skills level. And the second one is defense. On air broadcast assistance. Every 15 seconds, player's level 10 special barrage damage is based on the skills level. When the battle starts, if the ship above your flagship is battleship, battlecruiser, or aviation battleship like Kearsarge, when that ship fires her main guns, scans one enemy and inflicts armor break to them. For the first 5 battles fought by a fleet this ship is not in, while this ship is afloat, increases that fleet's Eagle Union ship's AA and accuracy by 10%. Additionally, when an enemy comes within 65 units of your flagship, fires level 10 special supporting barrage. Damage is based on skills level. 5 seconds cooldown between activations, can only activate up to 5 times per battle. Okay, that's a lot of take in from Ultra Rare. Now, let's deconstruct and construct, let's just say, her skills, okay? Battlestar Fireworks. Increases this ship AA and accuracy 15%. At the start, that is a really good buff. After every 2 attacks with this ship's secondary guns, that means if you have secondary gun that loads like 2.5 seconds, it takes 4 seconds and probably 5 seconds to increase this ship AA 5%. And if you repeat that 5 times, that's 25 seconds until she gets... What? 25 seconds? Okay. She gets max stack. All your ship with a lower AA stat than Guam gain 15% increased AA until the battle ends. So if you have fast reload in secondary gun, no matter what, she gets really fastly increasing AA. And of course, it's not nation dependent, so it doesn't matter which secondary gun she gets, is a instant build-up. So that is something you want to improve on, let's just say. Second one is a quest incoming. Decrease this ship aircraft damage taken by 20%. This reminds me so much set 1 skill, but that requires so much RNG that it's really disappointing how it works, so I say this one is a lot better. Decrease the ship aircraft damage taken by 20%. Well, the only downside is he only gets 20% less damage from aircraft, so she is tankier against aircraft. But there is a kicker. This skill requires you to have big caliber guns. 305mm ones, or those like German ones, 283mm, but we will get onto that. Attacks with large caliber main gun, so every time this gun fires, these next things happens. It seems deploys a barrier, lasts 5 seconds. It's not a lot, but it's decently fine. Able to negate up to 1% of this ship's max HP in damage. So nice one. I need to translate that more because I'm having a brain fart. And then every time this gun fires, performs level 10 special attack, damage is based on skill level. So now I have this triple 305mm Mark 8 gun. Ooh, so oh boy. Every 7 seconds she gets this skill. Negates to 1% of this max HP in damage. That is finally phrased, and some reason I'm having difficulties to understand that, but it seems it 1% of this max HP. What? Okay, let's continue. I'm having difficulties. Second one, every 15 seconds, that's basically a normal thing. Level 10 special barrage, skill level, scale on that. Okay. When the battle starts, okay, this is back fleet dependent. If the ship above your flagship, so basically like in here, number 1 slot is Volga and second one is Sovietsky Soyuz, giving buff to Chaklov and Volga. So every time Sovietsky Soyuz or battleship in this slot fires her gun, it seems, well, it doesn't matter, is it battleship? It could be battle cruiser or aviation battleship. When that ship fires her main gun, scans one enemy and inflicts armor break to them. Okay, so armor break is an important thing if you think about it. If there's an enemy with a good armor, if you can inflict armor break to that enemy, that enemy gets increased damage, no matter what gun it is. For the first 5 battles fought by fleet, this ship is not in, so you have to make sure that Guam is not the first fleet to attack. Guam is kinda last one to attack? Increases that fleet's Eagle Union ships, AA and accuracy by 10%. So this is heavily supporting Eagle Union ships. And AA and accuracy are both equally important things. Because AA protects you from airplanes, those sucks, nobody likes planes. And accuracy is important because you need to hit something. And that hit accuracy is also now balanced with luck. As you can see here, armor type, torpedoes, aviation reload, aviation accuracy, speed, course, oxygen ammo, luck. The ship's luck stat affects the ship probability of landing and avoiding regular hits and critical hits. So, that is also important, ladies and gentlemen. Commanders across the world. And then there's a funny one. Additionally, when the enemy comes within 65 units of the flagship, Warriors level 10, special supporting barrage. Damage is based on skill levels, 5-second cooldown, PP activations can only activate up to 5 times per battle. So it is very limited. Skill, but it is ultra rare behavior to support the other fleet this way. Of course, there are other fleets, ships that can do the same, but this is kind of ultra rare thing. Ultra rares only can do, giving this special barrage support. We have now done some interesting dive in. And of course, let's not forget her art design. So this is Guam, made by our beloved dishwasher. And I have to say, I really want to know how she came up with this design, because this is really interesting. And this giant mech, I heard that he was playing this, what was it, the core, the metal core, this game where you can actually create your own mech. This is based on that, and I am fine how this looks because it gives something like futuristic, because I think it is a good thing to test new things. And this is impressive. Like, if you know, Ironblood has many dragon and shark like brigands. Those are basically robots, but in Azulane lore they are copying Siren technology and then fused that technology to their own. And now Northern Parliament is here, so Northern Parliament is also using Siren technology. So now Northern Parliament using that same kind of rigging style like Ironblood does is now becoming a really common thing to my taste, because it actually gives something more interesting this game. I like two things. Transformers, those are robots, and of course Navy history. And if you combine like robots in a Navy thing, you can come up with really interesting ideas. And I guess using as a that other games as a the right word, the motivation, not the motivation, is inspirational to test new rigging, and I say this is impressive. I love the details all across the rigging. I love every detail he drew all in this, and I actually love it. I love every part of this design. Of course, Guam has the other skin, but unfortunately, for my own sake, well, that's badly phrased, let me fix that. The other skins I wanted to buy, well, I have to make my own sacrifices to get these other skins. So Guam, unfortunately, did not get the skin. So with this rambling, unnecessary rambling, we are gonna take her to a battle, and I will let the voice over Lucky Man do the rest. And I will leave that Alaska design ships disaster the other day. So see you in a voiceover.
Alright, commanders. Lucky Man, voice over here. Two things. First, I want to apologize. My microphone was not connected to my USB version. It was connected some kind of echo microphone in one of these monitors I have. And two, I want to also apologize the Battlestar Fireworks misreading mistake, because I made that video yesterday, and this voiceover is the next day of the last recording. After every 2 attacks with this ship's secondary gun. Excuse me, my mouth was dry. Okay, back to the thing. 2 attacks. The secondary needs to fire 2 times to actually make 1 stack. Well, not 1 stack, but 1 from 5. So the secondary gun I had with Guam, if I remember correctly right now from the bat, it was 2 seconds, 1 fire, and it takes 2 seconds more to fire the second volley, so that's 4 seconds. So that's after 4 seconds and half, it then makes 1 stack, that's 5% increase. So then you make that to 5. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 fires, but then you add the 2 seconds, that's 2 seconds. Oh, excuse me, 4, 8, and make that to 5 times, and you have full math how long it takes to make the full stack to increase Guam AA and accuracy. Excuse me, increase Guam's AA. Let's just say 5%, 10%, 15, 20, 25%. There is a math, and I did not use my head too brightly yesterday, so that's my mistake over there. But anyway, in this clip I have 2 clips. One, this starting one, is Guam not being used first battles because I want to use Guam's ultra rare support, the on-air broadcast assistance. For the first 5 battles fought by a fleet, this ship is not in. Well, let's translate it this way. First 5 battles, this ship gives support the other fleet. Increase the other fleet, Eagle Union ships AA and accuracy 10%. Additionally, when an enemy comes within blah blah blah. That's basically all I want to use. Now, the delicious point about the second fleet, that's called the EXP fleet. There is the Indiana, and let's get the right characters in this. Indiana, where's the Indiana? Well, there she is. Why picked up Indiana? Well, it's not just increase her own firepower 15%, but this also increases defensive stance AA 15%. So Indiana boosts her AA 15%. So you stack that on her. And then there is our Bunker Hill, was it? Bunker Hill. Up. There she is. The skills in Bunker Hill. When sorted in any other position, increases firepower and AA Eagle Union DDs 15%. So Luffy gets 15% AA. Also, while there are no other carriers in the same fleet as this ship, increases your main fleet's AA 12%, so give you AA in that. Then there is the is it South Dakota? Yep. The why did I have her? Increase accuracy. Probably that was why I took her. Yep, because if I remember correctly, Guam did give the accuracy. So that's extra accuracy to the strongest shield skill if you have augment module. Let me check that real quick again. AA and accuracy 10%. Okay, Guam gives 10% accuracy, so that's a bonus to South Dakota. And then there is a Pittsburgh. Why did I have her? Well, the increase evasion, special AA gun, probably for that reason. Deploys maximum barrier destroyed, increases firepower and AA. So if Tipsy Windbreaker skill has these deploys the barrier. If this barrier in Pittsburgh is destroyed, increases this ship firepower and AA 15%. So Pittsburgh needs to get shield destroyed to get her 50% extra AA, and that lasts entire battle. Luffy 2. This ship Does this one skill scout? Special AA gun. So that's that. Forever to increase this ship AA 10%. So that's 30% if every 2 enemy aircraft shot down within your fleet's anti-air range. Increase this ship AA by 10%, can stack up to 3 times, and this ship gains 1 stack of motivation. So see, Luffy too gets astonishing 30% if that's full stack. And then you add Guam's AA buff. So Luffy probably has the nastiest AA this far. And then there is the Merton, our beloved. Excuse me. If the... Okay, one for the team. If this ship is the frontmost position of your vanguard, decrease this ship damage taken 20% for 30 seconds. If not in this position, increase this ship AA 25% until the battle ends. So you can see Guam actually gave me the most powerful AA fleet I can think of. Of course, it's not the best at this point. It's not best for one, there are probably the better ones available in Eagle Union, but the unfortunate thing is the Guam gives only AA buff to Eagle Union ships. So I made a fleet that could in theory work in map 15, that is hellish with the planes it gives. So I'm looking forward when I actually reach that place. So I have finally utilized Guam's AA buff in this fleet. But Guam only gives 10%, but that's still a lot if you combine all the percentages I have. But in the second clip is where I use Guam fleet. That contains 4 Northern Palayan ships, 1 Sakura ship that gives more XP to cruisers, and Guam herself. So the Guam gives herself already increased this ship AA and accuracy 15%. So Guam needs to fire her secondary gun 2 times to actually increase her AA at least 5%. That is a lot asked if you run in low level enemy maps. One, I had a little bit struggle to actually find a good map to give everything out from Guam. Not just to make her secondary fire many times, but also balance it with the Kronstadt and then Sakura ship and the low level Northern Palayan ships. So this was a little bit challenging because I made a poor fleet for this demonstration. But guest incoming skill decrease this ship aircraft damage taken by 20%. So if I had given Guam, take Guam to map that actually has a lot of planes, Guam gets less damage from them, which is important if the map is filled with airplanes and you want to shoot them down to make not just the back fleet to survive, but also Guam is more defensive against them. Kinda like reminds Franklin when she was escorted. But this funny skill, if this ship has a large caliber gun, deploys barrier, negate up to 1% of this ship max HP in damage. So like 1%? Excuse me, I don't know why I'm yawning. I didn't wake up probably enough, I guess. Deploys barrier, lasts up to 5 times. Lasts to 5 seconds, negate up to 1% of this ship max HP in damage. So, like, what? Can somebody please explain me how this skill works? Because for my brain, it doesn't make any sense. And then when there is a battle, if there's a ship above the flagship, that is Sovietsky Soyuz, when that ship fires her main gun, scans one enemy and fixed armor break through them. So I say Guam is performing really well. And thanks to her other skills, performs level 10 special attack if you have large caliber main gun that fires every 7 seconds and 7.3 seconds. So she is performing really well when comparison to Kronstadt. Well, that is question is hard to answer for right now because enemies are not high level enough to demonstrate not just Guam's but also Kronstadt performance. If you have Guam, she is really good giving AA buff to Eagle Union fleet, which makes her heavily locked requesting you to build Eagle Union fleet. And this is kind of downgrade to me because I haven't used Eagle Union fleet that often. I am more like Ironblood main because I want to actually break my sanity to actually test out those full Ironblood fleet work all the way to map 15. But if map 15 requires flexible fleet, then I have no choice but to actually grind the other fleet nations. Other nations' fleets. To actually make some working fleet in map 15. But if you have Guam, I highly recommend to leveling her up and give her secondary gun that gives her more AA, fires fast enough. If you have Guam's Alaska class 305mm gun, give her that, or Aegir's gun or Deutschland class gun, because she requires to have large caliber gun to make that special attack. Is she worth it? Yes. I say she is worth it. And I'm really curious about to see the rest of 6. Well, not rest of 6, the rest of 5 remaining Alaska class ships. Because number 1, the game is 7 years old? So I thought about it's good time to make video about Alaska class, because if we are waiting rest of the Alaska class, it would take probably 20 years to actually have rest of them. And there is, I hope, to see more of these ships in the upcoming months and years. But then it would require heavily investing the Alaska class from the artists to make all the 6 of them to be released. And when Admiral Shear is closely to be released, I hope this year, 2025, we can finally see, is she unique compared to Deutschland and Crash Bay. But that's the other day when she is finally released. Now then, I guess it's now good time to end this video. What are your opinions about the Guam? Have you ordered her? Do you have her skin? What do you think about her skin? If you have fully utilized Guam, what is your fleet recommendations? Thank you so much for watching. My name is LuckyMias205. Thank you so much for watching. Please take care of yourself. That's important these days. If you want to support my content, hit the subscribe button and all that jazz. And I see you next one. Take care and enjoy new tomorrow.
ええ、そう